Welcome back to Zach's Garage. We are back on the Bayliner boat restoration project, and what we're doing today is trying to clean up these vinyl handles we got. As you can see, they are pretty darn dirty. Now if you're like me, your first instinct is to try and take a screwdriver and unscrew this thing, get it out. But you notice nothing's happening as I unscrew, and that's because on the back side of this there's friction nuts that are just turning in place, still holding it on. I did go ahead and check and see if I could reach a wrench up under there to get it, and I probably can, but it is super hard to get. So before I even try to take the handles off, what I'm going to go ahead and do first is just see if I can clean them while they're still attached to the boat. So the first thing I'm going to try is using a degreaser to see how much of that is maybe just like grease stain type of stuff and dirt that can come out of it. And I'm going to be using SuperClean's degreaser today, and let's see how well this turns out. And it might be better to spray it onto your towel first, because I just got it everywhere. Oh man. So I'm letting it sit in for just a second, and now I'll start wiping to see how much is gonna come off. Okay. I can see some of it coming off here, but there is a texture in the handle with some cracks, and this little rag here is not getting into all the cracks. So I think what I'm gonna go get real quick is a magic eraser and see if it can get into these cracks to get some of that out a little bit better. Alright, I'm back with my magic eraser. Now it's time to see if this guy can make a little more progress on it. It's taking a little more off. Can definitely see it on the eraser, that's for sure. Alright, so as you can see, it did get some of the spots off and is a bit lighter now, but obviously there are still plenty of dark stain spots left on it. So I think I've done all I can do with the SuperClean. So what I'm gonna try to do now is go ahead and take it off, as I was reluctant to do from the get-go. I can just barely reach this guy in this little nook here. We'll see if I'm able to get this back in afterwards. I'm sure I'll drop the nut to this bolt 500 times. And one down, there we go. One's even harder to reach. Drop the wrench. Oh man. Got it. Easy. Just like that, folks. Easy peasy. Now I can really get this guy cleaned up. And welcome to Zach's Kitchen. I have got the handle right here, as you can see. And I do have some bleach out already. But first, before I use this bleach, I want to try taking the handle and taking some dish soap and a scrubber and seeing if that can get more of this gunk off of it first before I try the bleach. You can see, especially on the back side here, there is still some gunk all in there, a bit dirtier on the back of the handle. So let's just get some warm water on this bad boy. Look at that. Bam! Comes right off. Easy. I didn't even use any dish soap yet. Oh, that might be too much. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, dog. Holy cow. That's getting a lot of that right up with the scrubber. There's some of these hard to get angles in here that some of these tiny little nylon brushes, whatever they're called, get in there really well. Oh yeah, cleans that right up. Don't tell my wife I'm using this on boat parts. She might not be too happy about this one. That's alright, I think it's time to probably get a new one of these scrubbers anyways. You can see it's all messed up at the end. Alright, I think it's time for the bleach. So what I'm going to do is make a little bath for it here in the sink. I'm going to use some hot water. Makes the chemicals work better, I think. Okay, so I got a little bit of water in there. Now you might be wondering how much bleach to add. And the truth is, I don't know. Boy, if I could get this stupid cap off. I'm just gonna pour a little in there. I don't know, that might be a lot of too much. Just scrub some of that on there. Make sure it's getting all around. Ooh, it's starting to smell like a chlorine pool in here. So I've got the bleach mixed in really well. And you can tell because it's all slimy. I think it's starting to work its magic a little. So that's what it looks like now. We'll see how much it takes those faded spots away. Make sure to not breathe this in too much. I don't know what it is about bleach, but whenever I use it and I get it on my hands, it's like I smell it on my hands for the rest of the day. Alright, now we'll just let this bad boy sit for a little bit. I was only going to soak the handle in the bleach for about 2 hours in hopes that it would be pretty much stain free at that point. But it ended up still having a few stains on it, so I went ahead and I let it soak in some bleach overnight. But instead of just letting it sit in the sink, I went ahead and moved my bleach into a Pyrex glass container so that way I could do the dishes. And while I was at it, I went ahead and got the other handle out of the boat and soaked it at the same time too. So, after letting it soak for about 12 hours of bleach time, and it was about 1 cup of bleach for about 4 cups of water, you can see the handles are pretty much stain free. There are a few spots left on them, but they're pretty faded, and one of the handles is actually a little bit better than the other, as you can tell. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out just by letting them soak in bleach for a little bit. They look pretty close to being new. Definitely a lot better than before. So now some of you might still be wondering, hey, there's still spots on there. Why don't you just go buy some new handles? And I'm glad you asked that. Now, for those of you who think your vinyl handles might be beyond saving with bleach and you just think you might need a replacement, I did actually find some replacement ones you can buy on Amazon. and they're only about $10, which isn't too bad. So if any of you are interested in looking at that, I'll leave a link down to it in the description down below. But anyways, back to my vinyl handles. I think they're good to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and get them back in the boat. So one quick step I'm gonna do real quick before I get the handle screwed back in is just take a little damp rag and wipe off some of the dirt that's around where the handle's attached to the boat. That just really helps clean up the area. It'll make it look a little bit cleaner. You won't be able to see those dark, dirty edges when the handle's screwed in. So now I'm ready to go ahead and get these handles screwed back into place. And one thing I didn't do when I was taking them off that'll make your life a lot easier is just go ahead and use your drill to help you screw it on faster. I'm gonna go ahead and get these bolts screwed through the handle. That way it'll be easier to get the nut on the back side. Alright. Now I got this guy ready to go. Through there. Oh, one quick note. On my handles, you can see here there's a little bit more marks on this side than there is on this side. So I'm going to make sure I put the prettier side of the handle face up. Just a quick little thing that helps it look just a little bit better since these handles aren't quite perfect. Now for the fun part, to get the nut on the back. I'm going to go ahead and put the washers on first. If you're like me, you're probably going to drop these a few times. There we go. Once you get it started, the rest is easy. So then when you get it down to the end, I would still recommend hand tightening it with the screwdriver just to make sure you don't overdrive it or strip the screw head. Oh wow, that is pretty tight. And now for the second one. Alright, this handle is good to go, so I'm going to go ahead and put these screw head covers in. Oh man, that is awesome. That one is good to go. And now for this one. And there you have it. It is good to go. It really is amazing how much of a difference it makes when you compare the before and after side by side. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and hopefully these handles will last for many years to come. And if you enjoyed this video, then smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to stay up to date with all my future videos coming out, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Now lastly, I want to give a gigantic thank you for over 2,110 subscribers. Thank you guys for all the love and support. You have really helped motivate me to continue to make these videos to help others and to finish my boat restoration. Now with all that being said, lastly, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.